Right when you think you've figured all about God, God does something very different, very new. This is the story of, the time when Jesus heals the paralytic. Couple of portions. This small verse that really caught my attention. Okay, the Pharisees are watching Jesus, and Jesus tells this paralytic, "Your sins are forgiven." Verse 9. Um, Jesus speaks to the crowd. He says, "Which is easier, to say to the paralytic, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Get up, take your mat, and walk?' But that you may know the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." He said to the paralytic, "I tell you, get up, take your mat, and go home." He got up, took his mat, walked out in full view of them all. This amazed everyone. They praised God, saying, "We have never seen anything like this." My focus is not the miracle. My focus is not the healing. Not Jesus' response. Not Jesus' claim to divinity. What really caught my attention is, well, yesterday, as my son was reading his little Bible. I mean, I was reading with him. And what really caught my attention was the fact that no sacrifice is mentioned. Um, and Jesus doesn't tell him, "Go sacrifice for your sins." And we all know, technically there has to be sacrifice for sins to be forgiven. And some of you may argue, well, Jesus knew that he was eventually going to offer himself as a sacrifice so he could forgive. But here, none of that is mentioned. It just says that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins. Even the Pharisees agree on the fact that God can forgive sins. But then throughout the Old Testament, you read about all the laws when it comes to forgiveness of sins or putting away the sins for a while. They have to offer sacrifice. Here, Jesus does something very new. He just says, "Your sins are forgiven. Go home." Um, can God do something very different just for you? Well, it is a possibility. But I'm not deviating from the fact that for sins, there is a sacrifice required. The righteousness of God demands it. But uh, here, Jesus just told him, "I forgive your sins. You're free."